What's up, YouTube? Let me know. Oh, snap. Hold on. Let me know when. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can't. Okay, there it is. Yeah, let me know if the stream gets fixed because it's looking crazy on my end. Like it's like. Okay. All right. Let me know if it's like super choppy still or if you guys see it fairly smooth because on my end it looks terrible. But just give me a second. Oh, how do I see my chat? What the? Okay. All right. That's better. All right. There's my chat window. Okay. So, this is a video I never wanted to have to make. And, I made a video prior to this regarding Andrew Yang's Black Agenda. The video is called "Why Andrew Yang is the Best Candidate for Black Americans in 2020" or something along those lines. And my intention with that video, wow. Let me start over. Can you guys see everything clearly? Because you guys aren't commenting, and I just want to make sure because it shows it's a little bit laggy. Okay. All right. Well, my apologies. Like I said, I am live recording this video as well, so the replay should be smooth. Sometimes it's just a little funny, but first of all, I want to say this. I'm not I'm not the official representative for black people. I'm just a guy with an opinion. As you can see from the math hat, I am Yang Gang. But with that said, this video is called "Tough Love for Andrew Yang." He recently, I had one of you guys send me this interview Andrew Yang did on Karen Hunter, the Karen Hunter Show, someone who I'm not terribly familiar with. But I did see Andrew Yang recently on The Breakfast Club, and once again, I was underwhelmed. And I've made a video, like I said, regarding Andrew Yang's from Bartlesville. Hey, I've made videos, or I made a video prior to this on Andrew Yang's Black Agenda, and I said, look, man, you just need to be straight up and be like, look, I have no black agenda. My campaign is about humanity first. I'm looking to change the incentives of capitalism, which I think will disproportionately help those who have been disregarded in the past, and that was kind of my line of thinking. People criticize me even saying that, like, well, that's I can't say the word because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube, but they didn't think that was a wise decision, and I understand. Totally understand why you might think so. But in preparation for this video, I wanted to go back to 2016, and I was going to run this clip a little bit later in the video, but I think I'm going to run it first to give you guys a little bit of context so you guys understand what we're truly dealing with right now. So I'm going to rewind the clock. Is it still laggy? Because if it's still laggy, I probably can't even show you guys this because it's going to look super terrible. Is it still? Yeah, it looks like it's still probably going to show pretty slowly. I wanted to show you guys some clips. You're going to have to just listen to it. Again, I apologize, but in the replay, this will be a smooth video. So I like to do the interactive. Oh, we're green now. I like to do this interactive portion. You guys can have comments and I can address things. And I think it's good conversation. But all of these videos that I shoot are all going to be edited down, condensed, same premise, just tighter package. So I'm going to play this clip. It says the clip is 2 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I think I'm probably going to play like a minute of it. But this is Donald Trump, 2016, asking for the black vote. And I want you to keep this in mind throughout this video because people told me it was crazy to say that you have no black agenda. One moment. And let me know if you guys can hear this, if you have any issues hearing this, because I'm doing a different setup right now. Hold on. I can't even show you guys this Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Uh, well, hearing my voice is super annoying. Give me 1 second. I want to play this because why can I hear myself? Comments and I can address things, and I think it's good conversation. But all these videos that I shoot are all going to be edited down, condensed. You know, same premise, just so. I'm going to play this clip. It's about. Why can I hear myself? 2 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I think I'm probably going to play like a minute of it. But Donald Trump, 2016. I'm trying to figure out why I can hear myself. I have no idea where this audio is coming from because I shouldn't be able to hear myself. Oh, let me see. Is it up here? Something different is happening right now than has ever happened before. I have no idea why I can hear myself. All right, let's see. Maybe that fixed it. Okay, I think that might have fixed it. That window shouldn't be playing. All right. Okay, can you guys still hear me? Just let me know before I hit play on this. I want to make sure that we're all good because yeah, this is a little bit. It's quiet. Which candidate has the best black agenda? It's Andrew Yang, Andrew J, as I like to call him. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm about to hit the play button on this. If you can't, let me know. But all right, I'm gonna play it. If you can't hear me, just let me know. Or if you can't hear it, let me know.
No group, no group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group, no group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Tonight, I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say.
All right. No, you sound good now. Okay, cool. All right, so yes, I don't want to. I just wanted to I wanted to start this video off with context because I think that people have forgotten. Because again, I myself had forgotten how this guy became president. Like, he's just tweets now. I don't watch mainstream media, so I don't really know. Like, I hear stuff, but I forget what he was saying when he was running for office. And quite frankly, his language was just, man, it was just different. It was different, okay? And I got to be honest, even hearing it now, it's like, oh, that's right. This dude he's like speaking candidly. He's speaking to regular people. Like, I honestly think Andrew Yang's greatest weakness is that he's too smart. I think he's too smart for his own good. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he hangs around a lot of academics. That's great. But when he's trying to communicate to everybody else, if they don't have his same experience, they don't have his same knowledge, they don't have his, he definitely panned everybody. It's laggy. Don't worry about the laggy video. I'm only worried about don't worry about the laggy audio to video connection. But if it's worse than usual, let me know. But I wanted to break that, just play that, just to put you guys in the mood so you understand that this guy's the president, okay? And someone said he pandered to everybody. I don't think he pandered. I don't think that's pandering. I don't think that's pandering at all. I think that was the most refreshing message I heard from a politician in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I feel like every other politician pandered because he didn't. He said, listen, everybody else has been terrible to you. Why not give me a shot? He didn't say, I'm the best candidate. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. He didn't say that at all. So what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Like, that's his real appeal to black people for vote. I mean, you got to respect that. I mean, you might not respect it. I respect that. You know what I mean? So, again, we're going to start there, okay? So, like I said, and again, what he really did is he used it to attack Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. And what that caused a lot of people to do was say, you know what? That's right. I don't really like the Democrats that much. I don't really like Hillary Clinton that much. I'm not even going to vote. Because that was kind of the situation he hit a lot of people with. They were just like, oh, that's right. They're not that great. They don't take, and even Trump said it, they don't appreciate your vote. They don't respect your vote. They just expect it pretty much every election cycle. So try something new or, stay home, as many people did, and now he's president. Now, as a result, what's going to happen is when he goes in there for re-election now, he got record GDP, what do you call it? Total employment, African-American employment rates at a 40-year low. It's going to be hard to beat that. Not to say that his metrics are 100% accurate, that you can't attribute some of those things to prior presidents, and that unemployment has been trending down for a while. Like, that's all fine and dandy, but now you're getting into logic, okay? And we got a guy who just told you try something new, and then he comes back after 4 years and says, I told you to try something new, and now you're looking at record numbers. You sure you want to mess that up and try something new again? It's going to be tough, all right? Again, foundation. When I met Andrew, he was very approachable. I think Andrew Yang is approachable, but I think in this particular environment, he's not. Like, flat out, he's just not comfortable in that environment. And I've said that. That's been my primary criticism of him in these interviews where he gets up and he has these black agenda questions. He's setting himself up. Like, low-key, stop taking these interviews. Like, be like, look, I don't want to do that interview because I'm not going to – either I'm going to have to get in there and tell you some lies, which I don't want to do, or – I don't want to say something that's going to hurt my candidacy or whatever. Just, like, stop putting yourself in that position. Like, I respect what the man is saying for the most part. So I don't know. He just got to stop doing this. But what was Obama and Trump's black agenda? I just played you Trump's black agenda. Yes, I did see Andrew Yang on Breakfast Club saying that the real Trump or the real Yang will come out soon. That was the best thing that came out of that interview because, again, I think that interview was also a disappointment. And just to prepare for this, I went back and listened to the Joe Rogan interview because I did some interviews when I was in Tulsa, and you guys heard other people mention the Joe Rogan interview. It is probably the main call to action when you talk about Andrew Yang on YouTube. Everyone goes back to the Joe Rogan. And I wanted to see why the Joe Rogan interview was so good. What did I like about that even when I heard it? He started out with a lot of facts. Logical conclusions, and actual results based on data, based on experience, based on time. So that foundation opened up a completely different conversation. Now, again, to be fair, this is a 2-hour interview. So he's on these radio shows now. He doesn't have 2 hours to really explain himself. He has sometimes an hour, but he don't have 2 hours anymore to really go into detail, to really go into the reasons and like, but he came off extremely knowledgeable. Like, he didn't come off as somebody, like, he came off like an academic, truly. But he came off like an academic. He's like, look, I was out here, I was in the trenches, I was doing my venture, is it called Venture for America? I was doing that work. I thought I was making a dent, but the more I went into the data, the more I realized we weren't doing enough. We were coming up short. And this is when I started to discover the reason. So he wasn't coming off as somebody who was just sitting in there looking at it. He wasn't just sitting there looking at it as a guy who hasn't had any experience with it. He was like, look, I tried to do it the way they tell you to do it. That wasn't enough. Shout out to Gilly. You're absolutely right. But so that's that, right? So somebody sends me this clip of Karen Hunter. Again, I'm not super familiar with her. I mean, I'm assuming she's got some credentials. I think she said she worked for New York Daily News at some point. So she did a lot of stuff. I think she said in education for them. But, she's a respected voice. I guess she's got a show on Sirius XM. And in my video, when I said that Andrew Yang should just straight up say he has no black agenda because he's humanity first, I got criticism for that because that sounded crazy. And that's why I wanted to show you Trump. He told you he had no black agenda. He told you that Hillary Clinton was horrible. What more do you have to lose? And that was his whole appeal. He's the president now. Not because of black people, but I'm just saying he won. But this is why I warned. Watch the whole interview. Yeah. She just posted it about an hour ago. So, yeah, she just posted it. So I was like, why you wait till now to post it after I got this whole video together? But I'm going to. I will. I know. She holds me accountable. This is my stream wife, man. This chick is all over me. I'm going to do it. But I just want to speak to this question because when you get reduced to sound bites, and especially this one, which is titled, "What is Andrew Yang's Black Agenda?" Whew. This is rough because when people search for Andrew Yang Black Agenda, this is what's going to pop up. His interview with Breakfast Club, yes, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And that was why I didn't even want to do a video on it because I was so disappointed. Just like, but let's get into this. This clip, I think, is like 2.5 minutes, but you'll see what we're talking about. I told him, I said, Andrew, you need to stop getting tricked into this question. Y'all ready for this? Hold on, can y'all see me? I can't figure out these screens. Where's my, okay. All right, I'm gonna make it bigger. Sorry, this thing is laggy for me too now. All right, here we go.
As always. So there has to be an agenda for black people. And we had a conversation off mic or on mic about the ignoring of black men in particular. Everyone's black women. I'm a black woman. We show up, we show out. We're going to, support in ways that catapult people into White Houses, state houses, etc. What's your strategy to not talk to, because we don't need to be pandered to, what agenda items will you have in your administration that will service the community?
Well, we have a black agenda from strengthening HBCUs to getting rid of private prisons to getting rid of this punitive cash bail system that's essentially criminalizing poverty. But the most fundamental ways we can help the black community is by putting buying power, putting cash money into black consumers' hands, which will then spur black business owners and black entrepreneurs in your communities. And right now, I'm driven by this in part because the trends, unfortunately, are really disastrous for black people and people of color, where there's this natural thought that, things are going to get better, things are going to get better. A study came out a number of months ago that said the median African-American household net worth will be 0 by 2053. And the reason for that is that we're in the midst of this economic transformation that's going to gut many of the most common jobs in our economy.
Can I just pause you for
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Andrew J. Fam, listen, I like you. I don't know why you did this to yourself. I don't know why he did this to himself. He's smarter than this. So that was the, man. I'm going to watch the entire one. All right, I'm going to watch the entire one. You see. So at this point, this is where she interrupts him. She says, look, and she set him up nicely. She said, listen, you need a black agenda. We don't need to be pandered to. So warned him. And that's what he hit her with. And I was just like, bro, no. So at this point, like I said, she interrupts him. And when she interrupts him, she goes on. She says some things. I'll play that in a second. But I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it because, as I've been saying here lately, I don't want to hear about HBCUs. Again, I'm not the official representative for black people, but if HBCUs make up 10% of the black population in college, Why are we talking about the 10%? Not that they're not important, but it's just that's the minority. Like, we're not all black college students. We're not all in jail. This answer to me is just, as a black person, can there be a non-correct answer? I just played you the clip from Donald Trump. That's the right answer. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best answer possible, but there's honesty in that answer. There's honesty in that answer. He's saying, look, I got nothing for you, but I'm not going to tell you I do. I respect you. I'm asking for your vote. Like, when you come on these programs, you're not there. And people in the comments, some people are like, oh, what do you expect him to say? Blah, blah. It's like, or who is this woman to be entitled to ask him what her agenda or what his agenda is? Well, he came on her show and essentially is asking for her vote. So if you're asking me for my vote, that means you're asking me what it's going to take for that to happen, right? All right, cool. This is what it's going to take. And if you don't have that, why would you lay out all of those reasons at the beginning? Like, he literally laid out the need for specific policies for African Americans as if he was going to follow up with specific policies for African Americans. Don't ever do that. No. Don't do that. You setting yourself up, bro. You are setting yourself up. Because if you're going to sit there and say all of these are the problems of the black community, and you're not going to follow with, here are the direct policy responses to those things, you sound like a politician. So, can I give an example of what he should say? His agenda is helping everyone. Exactly. So if you go back to my first video, which was why Andrew Yang is the best candidate for black Americans, this is why I said he should simply say, look, it's very kind of Yang. I think she was kind to him, but I think that people who aren't going to sit through an entire interview or who are going to come across this clip are not going to be impressed. So I said Andrew Yang needs to lean into human-centered capitalism. Why? Why human-centered capitalism? Why is that important? All right. So first of all, this topic is big. All right. So this video is going to be kind of a little bit all over the place because I've done research and everything, but it's big. So if you just say give black people money, right? Because that's kind of where he's about to start saying. He's about to start talking about the freedom dividend, blah, blah. All right. Well, historically, what ends up happening is black dollars and white dollars, or black dollars and everybody else's dollars, are treated differently, okay? She starts talking about the subprime mortgage crisis, okay? Now, let me show you some information, because a lot of times people don't get this kind of stuff. Got cut off? I got cut off? Oh, he got cut off. Yeah, he did get cut off. But I'm glad he got cut off, because I don't think a lot of people are going to see this video, okay? He lucky this didn't happen on Breakfast Club. He lucky this didn't happen if he went into the ACLU, or he is talking to the NAACP, or some group who's going to have a bigger following where this is really going to spread. This was not good for him, I don't think. Hold on, let me find it. Okay. So she goes, I need to fix the connection. Oh, I'm going to go on down to the cable company and be like, yo, we need to fix up that connection real quick, because the fans, they're getting a little restless. The connection's bad. Is the audio bad as well, or is it just the video? Because I don't know. There's nothing really that I can do, unfortunately. I could close the stream and come back. Oh, yeah, that does look pretty terrible, doesn't it? I could close the stream and come back if you guys like. I don't know if that's going to help much. I could reset the modem. But yeah, unfortunately, there's not really much I can do. Lag, got cut off. Oh, no. All right, you guys want me to cut it and come back? Because I can do that. I can cut it, and then I can come back, and it's very bad. Black people need to have their own businesses, simple as that. Absolutely. Absolutely. How is the connection still? How is it? Is it still very, very bad? It looks like it's getting better. It looks like it's showing that it's improving over here. Did I talk to Andrew in person? No. No. In fact, that's kind of where this video is going to end, okay? She helped him, I think. I hope so. I am glad that it happened, though, because like I said, I'm glad it happened here. I'm glad it happened here because in a larger, in a more popular venue, this could have been really damaging. Only video. You have no audio? People I did. He does. Let me just give you this little piece of this right now. Okay. So black Americans are unequally issued loans on unfavorable terms during the subprime loan bonanza that prefigured the housing crisis and are still suffering in its aftermath. A new report from the American ACLU has found the resulting economic downturn has adversely affected them to a much greater degree than white homeowners, said the ACLU's Rachel Goodman, who said the findings suggest banks knowingly preyed on black mortgage seekers when it came to the issue of subprime mortgages. Race must have been a factor somewhere in the decision-making because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. Goodman pointed out that the report differs significantly from other studies of wealth by race, in that it compares people who are all homeowners and thus presumably fit the same definition or some definition of middle class. Goodman said that black families in the study surveyed 3,000 households, 740 of them black, had been subjected to redlining, denying, or charging more for necessary services. Andrew, listen. Had been subjected to redlining, denying, or charging more for necessary services, loans to people in historically black neighborhoods, which made residents of those neighborhoods particularly susceptible to predation by fly-by-night mortgage outfits pushing subprime loans so they could turn them around on the then booming secondary market. So I'm just throwing this out there for you guys. She talks about the subprime mortgage crisis. This is one of those things that gets kind of lost in the sauce when people talk about inequality and racial wealth gap, things like that. This is what happens in capitalism. Okay, this is what happens when you have capitalism just, we'll say, run amok, but not really. This is unmoderated, this is what happens in practice, right? This is what people are asking the government to step in on behalf of different groups to monitor, to be aware of, to make sure things like this don't happen. So this is why, this is why when you have, it froze again, of course. This is why when you have human-centered capitalism, where we're looking at outcomes, not simply generating, relax. Not simply, sorry it died. You can close the link and restart logging again. Okay, give me 1 second. Man, I must be getting into some heavy stuff over here because YouTube is not feeling it. All right, it says that my stream is back up. I got green. Can you guys see me? I can restart the chat. I'm going to restart this window. Subprime thing, why this is relevant, why she's talking about this, why this is a racial thing instead of just a business thing. It's just business. Now, it's not just business. Sometimes businesses are going to prey on certain communities more than others because that's the way it works. Like, you have the ability to do that. So when you have government intervention, they say, look, you know what? Certain things have to happen. You have to, you can only grant this percentage of subprime mortgages, or you can only do this to this amount of people. Now you are able to have government step in a way that makes sense. But as we've been talking about lately, government doesn't always get stuff right? Government kind of causes a lot of these problems. In fact, government supported these things during the time. They're the ones who supported the government bail. They supported the housing bailout, right? This is a government thing. So you're Gucci, cool. Russians, man. No, I think the DNC is blacking me. It might be, man. The DNC might be after your boy, man. You got to watch out. Maybe YouTube knows that you're missing the LinkedIn. But like I said, he set himself up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like coming off as honest and saying, look, if you know better, you have to do better. So if he knows certain things are tied to, or if there's a racial component to something, but then he doesn't have a policy for it, then it seems like he's no different than everyone else. So let me jump over to human-centered capitalism. I touched on it before. I've been touching on it, but it first starts out, the first point is that humans are more than money, okay? And this is why I don't like him leaning on, UBI, because if you're just going to give people money, but you're not understanding that protections are needed because certain groups are locked out or disenfranchised or preyed upon by financial institutions or whatever, then just giving people money doesn't solve it. But if you say humans are more than money, you're more than just how much money that someone can make off of you. You're more than how much money you attribute to the economy. Then maybe we can start talking about some real problems, some real solutions, and perhaps, we can be more than how much money we generate to the economy. Second thing is the unit of human-centered, or of human capitalism. The unit of a human capitalism economy in each person as a dollar. Markets exist to serve our common goals and values. So that's that, right? Why is that important? Because when you go over to Andrew Yang's scorecard, which is what I like to go to, because we're saying that you're not just a dollar sign. You're a person. You matter. The quality of your life matters. Let me run down this list again real quick. And first, throw out S rolls downhill, right? Everything that happens to America happens to whatever's happening in the American economy, whatever's happening to America is happening to black people worse, right? So it's important. If America's not happy, then black people are miserable. I mean, I got this whole, I'm not even going to pull it up, but there's like this whole study on satisfaction rates. Like the difference between black people and white people is like 30% as far as satisfaction and, the reasons for things and how important is racism to your life currently. Just all those different types of little racially charged questions. It's like a 30% gap on almost all of them, talking about the quality of life that people are experiencing based on race. So there's just a disagreement. Fine. So let's not make it about race. Let's simply say, let's talk about the quality of life and health-adjusted life expectancy. Now, I imagine, just like we do with regular polls and census and things, we divide these things up on racial lines. So if we're not just looking at dollars and we start looking at the data behind these different factors, if we see that there's a decline in a certain demographic or a particular metric, and there's a capital reason for someone to be incentivized to fix something, then you're going to have better outcomes for black people. This is different than what we do currently. Right now, it's just money. If there's money behind it, then there's no complaints. That's another reason I'm so disappointed in this interview, because at one point, Andrew Yang calls our system corrupt. And that's what I've always praised him on, never calling it corrupt, never calling the individuals who are profiting evil capitalists. No, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. You told them to go out, make money at all costs, and that's what they've done. So they're not to be penalized because of the system that you let them run amok in. They did what they're supposed to do. So now we're going to fix the system. We're going to be able to get different outcomes because we're going to be looking at different things. So happiness, well-being, mental health, environmental quality. Environmental quality, specifically, we talk about poor neighborhoods. We talk about higher ground. We talk about, because water rising, things like that. We talk about poison drinking water in Flint and other communities. It's not a black issue per se, but if it's a poor versus wealthy issue and it disproportionately affects poor people or black communities or whatever, then they will disproportionately benefit. I don't know why there is this need to, I don't know. I don't know what this need is to sugarcoat the issue or not really want to say what he wants to say, but I just say it, man. Fine, it's rich versus poor, but black people are poorer than white people. So that's just the way it works. But that's not pandering. If that's the truth, then so what? I would rather you tell me the truth and then tell me I'm going to solve it because it's the truth. You don't need to tell me. Just be honest, man. You want to go back to Trump's speech? What more do you have to lose? His character is impeccable. I watched the Breakfast Club interview where he talked about how angry it made him that the wealthy donors who wanted to donate to defense couldn't because of FEC rules. You can't win the Democratic ticket by saying what Donald Trump said. I think you're right when you say I don't have a black agenda. I have a humanity first agenda. I don't know if you can't win the Democratic ticket by saying what Donald Trump said. Not always. I mean, you can't say everything that Trump said. Listen, Trump obviously had put himself in a position at that point where it was clear he had a bit of a, I mean, he was clearly being propped up in many regards by white nationalists and things like that. So he was in a different situation. But I do think if that alignment didn't happen, if he wasn't saying a lot of the other things that he was saying, if he had just made that speech, I think it would have went over extremely well. Now, it didn't. You guys had originally asked me had I seen his ad, and I was like, I'm just not impressed by his ad. No, I'm not, because he seems like a politician, and that's not how he got here. Like, people were refreshed to hear Trump speak, and they're not feeling the same way. Like, up until Yang started to enter the national conversation, I mean, obviously he'd been making some noise, but now he's at a point where he's like, okay, people are starting to take me a little bit more seriously, and I need to take myself more seriously. I need to come off serious candidate, so I need to kind of play it safe, and that's kind of what he's done. He's cooled off quite a bit, hasn't he? Because playing it safe ain't going to win. In fact, I think even I might have said at a certain point that he needs to play it a little bit more safe. But now it can't be that. You're not gonna win playing it safe. You can't play politician better than politicians. All you can do better than everyone else is be yourself. So just do that, man. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I think he'll be a lot. Again, this is that double talk. You can't talk about HBCUs and then talk about you don't support free college, only because you then have to come back and talk about why you don't think that college is being overprescribed. It's like it's because you're not being genuine, or you're not being authentic. I don't know why you're not being honest, that you end up putting yourself in that position. Like Booker and Harris' Black Agendas. Don't ask that question, because when those people go into that room, they're going to be asked the same question themselves. And look, does Yang need the black vote? Absolutely not. He can win this thing without him. He can win it without him. But if you're going to put yourself in that position, if you're going to go into that room, then you already know what the question is going to be. So don't act surprised when it's asked. Like, I can't walk into a restaurant and be like, hey, just don't ask for something. Don't ask for something and then be offended that people are going to ask you what you're going to do for them in order to get it. Like, come on, man. You're in Singapore. Can you repeat what you said for the last 5 minutes in front? Jesus. Oh, man. But I do think Yang has too many policies. I literally think that. I think sometimes that he forgets his policies. He doesn't know which one to go to in his mind because he has so many. But that's why I think when he gets to this black agenda question, he need to just go into human-centered capitalism. He needs to go into the scorecard. He needs to go into why changing the metrics of capitalism is going to help out black people more than anything else you can do. Because it is. Because if you look at giving everybody $12,000 a year, well, you're giving it to everybody. So how is that going to fix a system that you've already acknowledged is there's something wrong with? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like you're telling people to go to college, or you're saying you're going to fix HBCUs, but you already told us that automation is going to automate all these jobs away, or AI and automation is going to make certain jobs, they're not going to have the same outlook in the future. So which one is it? Is it Uchi Wally Wally, or is it one Mike? You can't be both. You know what I mean? And that happens when you're not being honest. Okay? When you're being honest, you're like, look, look, we've been overprescribing college for quite a long time, okay? And that was propped up by government policy. That was a mistake. But if you look at the opportunities that we have in vocational training, this is an excellent opportunity for African Americans to close the racial wealth gap, or at least to close the income gap. 44% of college graduates are between the ages, I think it's of 22 and 27 are underemployed. Say that. Talk about underemployment. The Joe Rogan interview is completely different than all of his other interviews because he is so heavily based in fact and data. And when you have that, it shows that you're informed. Like, saying that you're informed just looks fantastic. Like, okay, this guy's thought about this. Like, he doesn't just research climate change, or he doesn't just research foreign policy. Like, he's looking at everything. He can do it. I want to hear more from him on funding the police body cams. I mean, the funding the police body cams, I don't think is going to be the problem. I think the issue is going to be, I think he's just going to earmark with some funds or something like that. That's not going to be an issue. The issue is that the federal government can't make police departments put on body cams. The issue is that the police still get to regulate themselves when we have an accidental shooting. Like, he talks about that in the Karen interview. All right, well. Listen, don't listen. Just donate to the campaign. You don't want me to answer him questions. You think Yang is too nice? Yeah, he might be. It's just a start. It's not just a start, man. It's not just a start. This is not his first interview. I've been saying this since a while ago. He's been interviewing on these. This I don't know. This is his first time with Karen Hunter, I think, but he's been on the Breakfast Club twice at this point. He's been on Hot 97. He's been on The Root. Like, he gets hit every single time in these interviews with these same situations because he just, I don't know, man. I don't know. He doesn't forget. He's got a photogenic memory. He probably does. He might need time to pick up upgrade Yang's RAM. UBI is a start. Yeah, I feel you on that. I have to help Yang. I'm trying to help him. I made this video already. Like, everything I'm telling you guys now is already in the video that I said. And people were crushing me saying, like, dude, you can't tell him to say he doesn't have a black agenda. Yeah, I can. Because he's being honest. And people respect honesty. All right? Like, that symbolism ain't going to work no more. Obama came, he ruined it. That was all of the symbolism for a generation. It's over now. Now people are like, all right, he ain't do nothing, so what's up? And again, Yang does not have to ask for the black vote. He can just be like, look, I'm just going to disregard that group. And that's fine too. But don't go into a black platform and then be mad, or I don't think he's mad, and then be surprised that you're asked specifically what's your black agenda, because they're going to ask that every single time. Like, you're going to be asked that question every single time. And you know that. Like, that's a political question. This is not new. We know what identity politics are. This is not a new phrase that we just came up with this election cycle. People have been talking about this for years. He should shrug and say, vote for me anyway. That's what Trump said. Vince, go look at the Trump interview, man, or the Trump speech. What do you have to lose was Trump's appeal to black people. Not, I'm the best candidate. No. What do you have to lose? I mean, listen. Again, it's respectable. It's respectable, man. Like, I respect your honesty. All right? I'm going to respect your honesty. Yang doesn't see color. He does. The problem seems like Yang doesn't see color and his policies are humanity first, which means everyone. I remember that he said everyone and people didn't like. Listen, it doesn't matter if people don't like it. People don't like the truth. People don't like the truth. I'm not saying for him to say, no, that's dumb. I'm not saying for him to disregard people. I'm saying, look, my policies are going to help your community. Why? Because we're going to be looking at the metrics of these things. We're not going to just be looking at money, because if we look at money, we're incredibly successful. Nothing needs to change. However, when I'm president, we're looking at underemployment. And I just told you that 44% of college students are graduating underemployed. Well, that means in my economy, that's a fail. But in our current economy, that's a dub, because the colleges are making a bunch of money. We can't have that. That's why I need to be president. That's why our whole... I almost slipped up. That's why things are going to be different. Just lean into it. You can't be afraid. Don't back down. You don't back down when someone says, even in this interview, she says this thing about black women are the most educated group in the country. He could have slapped that down. Like, bust out the data. Like, let me pull up this little, see, we're getting a little over the place, but I probably can't leave this video up because this is too raw. But she says the black women are the most educated group in the country, right? It's not true. And if Yang had called her out on it, I bet she would have been like, okay, this dude he's real. Like, he's really doing research. He's not just talking. He actually has done the research, but he didn't. I mean, maybe he didn't know it at the time, but black women are the most educated group in the country. Well, according to, what is this? Well, I'm going to read the whole story just so you know. Okay, so there's this thing that was going around. This is from June 2016. And this article says no, black women are not the most educated group in the U.S. This is important because when you know data, you can refute things. And this is what Karen Hunter said in that interview. I cut it off before she got to this part, but she's wrong. Black women, and I don't know where this started, but it doesn't seem to be stopping. The following headlines are completely factually wrong, and the organizations publishing them should be corrected right away. There's 4 articles. Black women now the most educated group in the U.S. Black women are now the most educated group. Black women are now the most educated group in the United States. Black women are now the most educated group in the U.S. Okay. And then there's this video by Attention on Facebook with 6 million views so far. I won't embed the video, but here's the images, right? What is true is that black women in the 2009-2010 academic year received a higher percentage of degrees within their race/ethnic group than did women in any other group. So, for example, of all the master's degrees awarded to black students, women got 71% of them. In comparison to white women, they only got 62% of all white master's degrees. So here's the chart. Right? Now imagine if you're listening to this interview and you hear her say, I don't know why people are always saying that black women are the most educated group in the country. And then Yang says, well, actually, that's not true. I know y'all think that would be crazy. That's ludicrous. How dare he? No, he got the data, man. He got the data. All right. And when you got the data, it's a whole different story. Because when Trump started hitting, when Trump got up on that podium, he started talking about all of the data. That's when people were like, all right, I don't like what he's saying. But according to the data, my situation might not be that great. People really started to reevaluate if they're really about to go down and vote for Hillary Clinton. And they didn't. So I'll just talk about it. For black women to be the most educated group, they would have had to have more degrees per person than any other group. In fact, although a greater percentage of black women have degrees than black men do, they have less education on average than white women. White men, Asian Pacific Islander women, and Asian Pacific Islander men. So, just letting you know, if somebody hits you with facts and they're wrong, and you don't correct them, their statement was the last one that people heard. So it looks like she's right. And it looks like you don't have an answer for her. But really, you let her say something that was wrong. You should have stepped up. That interview drove me nuts. Listen, I'm here because I'm Yang Gang, all right? But if you want to win, you're going to have to come a little bit harder. Or just say, look, I don't care about the black vote. I'm going to just work around them. And that's fine, too. Just don't put yourself in a situation where you look vulnerable, because that was not good. You're probably wondering how I got myself in this mess. What? He gets pushed back. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. 44% is a lot. 44% is ridiculous and a lot of debt. Exactly. So that's why when you start talking about HBCUs, right? You see how you can't double talk, man. You can't double talk. Trump didn't promise anything. Exactly. Trump didn't promise anything. Funding body candidates where states yes. I'm going to be the best candidate I can for every person. That includes black people. Yeah, man. We need more share. Yo, that video I dropped yesterday was fire, man. I don't know. That video got like 300 views. I don't know what y'all thinking. That video is fire. Vince is correct. I'm Asian. We tend to be intimidated with black people when talking about black issues. I have said this whole time, I think Andrew Yang is not comfortable in that environment. That's fine. Create your own environment, bro. Like, look, man, go find some people and invite them to dinner and be like, yo, let's just talk or whatever. Just like find the black guy who you were comfortable with. Or I don't know what you need to do. You run for president. You want to be the president for all people. You're going to have to know how to talk to people. And it comes off quite clear that you're uncomfortable. Like, it needs to at least look like, just don't look like you're uncomfortable, man. Just don't look uncomfortable. Like, he's got time. Every day when he's out, like in between going from Iowa to New Hampshire or wherever, like, do something. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to get comfortable because these interviews are not helping you. Like, I think they help you with awareness and name recognition, and that's cool, but to really win people over, I shouldn't still have to talk about the Joe Rogan interview, man. That thing was like 7 months ago. We have no place in talking about the struggles of black. But see, so Yang has no place in talking about struggles of black issues. And you know what? He answered that perfectly because that was when he was able to talk about the HR 40 bill to study reparations. He's like, look, I can't talk on that. I'm going to leave that to the experts. Genius. It completely leaves him out of that conversation. He doesn't have to address it at all. He's merely saying, I support that effort, but I won't have anything to do with it because I don't feel like I'm qualified to speak on it. That's smart. That's what you do. We're not asking for him to say something just to say something. Like, if you're not qualified, then just, okay, I'm not qualified. That's cool. There's already a commission being put together, people who've already studied this, so let them handle it. Respectable. Like, you got to treat people like adults, man, and I think that, you can forward it. Yang, I'm sure Andrew Yang has read more data than I have in life, okay? He probably just has a lot up there right now, and it's just tough to parse it all out. But when you know you're about to go on a run of 2 black or urban shows back to back, you might want to move that data back up to the front a little bit and just try to be able to come a little bit quicker. What did you say about wheelchair basketball? He needs a black consultant. Black people are easily triggered and outraged. You can't go to assuming facts will be enough. Well, I've said this whole time that facts will never be enough. Facts, if you're trying to win an argument with logic and facts, you're in trouble because it's not going to work. Facts don't work. You need emotion, okay? And Trump is a master at emotion. Trump is not, I mean, he did have some data, he does every once in a while, but for the most part, Trump is all emotion. But he's just so good at it. Yeah, he needs to listen to Wu-Tang. It might help, man. Let's get Riz on board. He discussed reparations. I want to know what I think about Yang's answer. I mean, I think it's a good answer. It's a good answer for him. Like, it's the best answer you're going to get is it's going to a commission. They're going to study it. That's it. I want him to win. And in order to win, you're going to have to dodge questions that don't make you look good and stick on the ones that make you look solid. And certain questions are not those ones. And I don't know why he puts himself in situations where he has to answer questions that don't look good. He has a good segment with Breakfast Club. He had a great discussion touching the black community topics they brought up. Create your own environment. Goodbye. He's going to interviews blind. He needs more coaching before walking to interviews. He's gotten lucky with no misstatements, but he's playing with fire. Absolutely, man. It's they put that clip of the Breakfast Club. Like Breakfast Club always puts a preview and then like a photo of the interview. I think I pulled. Let's see, where is it at? But it's also good because you can really see a snapshot of what people are thinking. But people are okay. Obviously, it's just the internet, right? We don't know what everybody thinks, but a lot of people were not impressed. He's getting better, but he's got 90 days, so. Charlamagne is a terrible interviewer. Mostly waiting on his turn to be a chip on his shoulder, contrarian, instead of actually engaging in a dialogue. Well, that's why he needs to take control. Like, that's what I'm saying. When you're not comfortable, you can't say, listen, Charlamagne, you're dumb. Let me talk to people who matter, because what you're saying doesn't make no sense. Like, I mean, not to insult him, but just like, this is a serious conversation. Don't let him talk to you like you're not running for the most important office in the country. Like, I'm not going to sit here and reduce myself to talking to Charlamagne about something that is above his pay grade. Are you for real right now? Like, you do radio, man. Play some songs. Let me handle this right now. I never want to argue with my black girlfriend. Black smart, and they see through. Man. They can't ignore $1,000 a month. Yeah, man. Once you started clapping your hands while arguing, I would just stop. Vince, you're a trooper. Charlamagne, I don't know what to say about him. I like Karen, though. Listen, I see a lot of people were impressed by Karen in the interview. Charlamagne's a bad interviewer. Patience, but the patience Yang had while him was being cut off was amazing to watch. Dodging exactly what Warren is good at. Hey, you playing politics. You're going to have to dodge some stuff. He needs to fire a viral video to let black Americans know what he has, what to look at. Yeah. Charlamagne has already stated that he endorses Kamala Harris. Well, call him out. But look, I understand you don't like my policy, Charlamagne. But what about Kamala Harris? What's she doing? Other than putting black people in jail for low-level drug offenses or polling at 1%. Matter of fact, I'm the only non-elected you know what I mean? Like, let them know what time it is. Bad choice. Charlamagne might be mega due to his relationship with Kanye. I'm going to keep learning and getting better. He doesn't have any experience with people. That sucks because other guys are doing well. Those type of questions. Can I just watch the full Karen interview? I thought it went well. Fair enough. He is who he is. Best bet is let him be himself. That way. But I don't think he's being himself. Why is my connection so bad today? Because I'm talking about something divisive. Therefore, the establishment is like, whoa. Got to kill that. Yang is a Jay fan. Jay's a sellout. I know you're not talking about Jay-Z. Please don't say that. You can't talk about, no, not. You talking about YB and Almighty Jay? You talking about Jay, you talking about Jay somebody else? I just got an email from Andrew Yang. We hit 1 million thanks to you. Our ad will stay on the air for another week. Shout out to the Yang gang. Yang should have talked about the Knicks, black music. He doesn't need policy discussion with radio DJs. Man, I'm not saying that because that would be pandering. But I mean, if he was like, look, why don't y'all stick to what y'all do? Like, just put them in their place, man. Like, just. I watch hundreds of Yang videos. I saw him being tough to an irritating questioner. So, let me pull back up my notes. His math was off that day. Yeah, man. I'm gonna check out the whole interview. You guys said the whole interview was better. Angela, I think they're beefing or something like that. Chameleon is all about identity politics. Charlemagne is not a leader in the black community. Okay, let's just be clear. He is a radio DJ. If you want to be entertained, you turn on Charlemagne. When you're looking for politics, you don't go to Charlemagne. Nobody is checking for looking to Charlemagne for his opinion. All right. So people need to stop believing the hype. He ain't a leader. He's not. He's the Russians. The black agenda can develop when we have to worry about what we'll eat or have right. That's what Trump is going to say. That's what Trump's going to straight up and tell you that. Look, you can sit here and talk about your black agenda. I'm trying to put some food on your table. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's more important to you right now. This government's wrong. Government's anti-yay. I'm just making this video because I want it to be clear. I do not like his answers to these questions. Not because they're terrible answers, but because they don't stand out. They're not exciting. You're not grabbing people and making them look at you and say, you know what? That guy's talking to me the way nobody else has ever talked to me. That guy's making me feel like I want to vote for him. People who are already on board like myself, it's fine. He's not really going to say anything that's going to throw me off for the most part, unless he completely switches his opinion on something. So I'm good. I'm intact. I'm here. I'm still math. I'm talking about the people who turned on the radio that morning and had an opportunity to hear somebody who's running for president and walked away underwhelmed. Can he play a saxophone? I told you, man, Obama killed all that. That ain't never going to work ever again. Why Jay got to be a sellout? I don't know why he had to be a sellout. Because I thought he was a billionaire, but apparently he needed that extra $100 million or whatever. I don't know why he had to be a sellout. He didn't have to be, or at least I thought he didn't have to be. But if Jay got to be a sellout, then the rest of us are doomed. I'm voting for Yang for at least one lifetime president. He might be if I'm a little bit. Yang should go after Trump. I mean, at this point, he need that haymaker. I'm not opposed to it. Yang needs more coaching and prepping before doing interviews. I feel his latest ones have not been strong at all. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's just because he's getting comfortable or if he's changed his strategy. Like, he seems a lot less off script. Like before, he used to seem like real free flow, and he was nailing it. Like even though he was free flow, he was crushing those questions like almost every single time. But now he seems like he's sticking more to the script and he doesn't really go off topic, which again, I was just shocked to hear him say in this interview, my black agenda consists of, like, I never even heard him say that phrase. I was like, who you been listening to, bro? Like, what are you talking about? My black agenda consists of. That's not the Andrew Yang I've been supporting all this time. I don't want to hear you say that. Yang laughs and jokes. Yeah, he got to chill that. That laugh too, man. That laugh got to go. Like, that laugh is, Charlemagne's a Russian. Joy Reid for Black Politics. He said, I've got over 160 policies. Yeah, that was good. But that's why he needs to take control. It's the same thing with the debates. Like, I'm not saying for him to change who he is. I'm saying to understand that you're being reduced to sound bites. Every conversation you have is not the Joe Rogan interview. I cannot keep telling people to go listen to the Joe Rogan interview from almost a year ago. Bro, I need you to give me some new material. You got to make this easy for me. And he said that. He said, look, my job is to make your job as the Yang Gang easier. So I need you to do that, bro. I need you to get up there and you give people something to think about so that I can have something to make a video about. And then we can have this conversation where you're like, you know what? I'm on the fence, but you know what? Yang, you just pulled me in. Trust the process. West loves Bernie, though. You want him to speak to Cornel West. if Yang wants this vote, it is still very much open and available to him. Okay, that's all it is. If he want it, go get it. And if he don't want it, I'm not asking Yang to go out and campaign for the black vote. I've never said that that's important to me. I'm saying if you're going to ask for it, you go ask for it. Trump asked for it. Trump actually asked for the black vote. When was the last time you heard anybody even do that? They don't do that. They don't ask for your vote. They just assume they're going to get it. Again, it was refreshing. He's just super tired. He might be, man. You cancel. Take a couple days off the trail, man. Bernie had a break, remember? Bernie went away for a couple days. Sleeping on the couch. Yeah, I believe it, man. Or get you some fire surrogates. Go get you some surrogates. Go get you some. Just say, look, I'm not going to be good in that environment. You've run businesses, you run nonprofits, right? There are certain things you're not good at. Maybe you're not good at sales and marketing. Maybe you're not good at accounting. You're not good at the legal stuff. Like whatever you're not good at, you go hire somebody. Go hire the best people. You heard the president. Go get some surrogates. Say you guys are empowered to speak on my behalf, and you're gonna replicate what I do. You're gonna get my message out to the community that I can't speak to, or to have more people out there putting in the legwork. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's more options. Like, I don't feel like he's reduced to just this little bit of stuff, or to say this limited amount of space, limited amount of phrases. Like, the guy's got policies. His stuff is well thought out. But at the end of the day, if you can't communicate it, aka Joe Biden, then it goes over people's heads. I was happy he explained NIMBY out, but he should have. Oh, did he talk about NIMBY in the Karen Hunter? NIMBY Art, who gave him information on the housing crisis. I know I've seen that name somewhere. Oh, that's the guy who goes into the charts and all of that. Yeah, that dude's fire. Not a convo for chat, but Cap is back. So Jay was wrong for making a deal. Yes, Jay's a snake. Sorry. Look, I care more about how bad of a look it is for Jay to partner with the NFL than I care about Kaepernick getting a job where he gets to get hit in the head by 300-pound dudes. Like what? No, he already took a settlement. Like, he already took a settlement. It's over. I don't want to hear nothing from either one of these two guys. He has a nice laugh, but I think it shows he has a big. I mean, how much laughing was he doing to Joe Rogan, man? That's all I'm saying. Make his job easier so I can get paid off content you generate for me? What? No, I'm saying make my job easier so your stuff is more palatable, man. Hey, NCX with the super chat. Appreciate you, fam. I have not seen the 2 new ads. Would you rather have $1,000 per month or stick to what we have? Listen, he can say that. That's what I'm saying. Trump was honest. Yang can be honest. Yang can say, look, I'm not a politician, but I'm the only person out here who's offering to put any money in your pockets. It's you know what? It's not reparations, but you know what? $1,000 a month is going to make a significant impact in your life. Maybe not you because you're a radio DJ, so you probably make millions of dollars a year. But what about any one of the people who work in this office? Would $1,000 a month help you out? Hey, guy who's got the trash can, would $1,000 a month help you out? Look, man, talk to people like people. No, not Tulsi. Nina Turner is crushing. She's damaged goods. She might be. Tulsi is damaged goods. C. Davis, exactly. Trump asked for the black vote, man. He didn't just say, I'm going to go to this fish fry. He said, I'm asking for your vote. When was the last time you heard a politician ask the people? Cap got 10. Exactly. I don't want to hear nothing from Cap. Cap, get lost. Take your money. Again, I'm not criticizing Andrew Yang because I think he doesn't have the answers. I'm criticizing him because I know he has the answers. I've heard the answers. I've seen him use those answers in other situations. But for some reason, when he gets in front of this one specific room, it just doesn't come out the way it does in other situations. And he's got to nail it. He's just got to nail it. But I'm glad this lady chin checked him, man. Listen, I don't know who she is. She did a good job. I'm glad it wasn't a huge platform. I mean, obviously she's on Sirius, so she got a little weight, but I don't think it's going to go as far as if it was on the Breakfast Club. This is not probably a super internet heavy audience, so Jay Giddens, what up, fam? Where you been? Oh man. Hold on. All right. His intelligence gets in the way. That's what I said. I think he's too smart for his own good. He's too smart. He just needs to hang around regular people for a little bit. He doesn't hang around too many regular people, clearly. And it hurts him when he tries to have a conversation with regular people. He needs to just go on down and have a conversation with just folks. Yo, what's up? I used to spend my summers in Canada. I came back with a Canadian accent. You know what I mean? It don't take long. How do you help? How do we make that happen? Me interview Andrew Yang. You donate to the to my Act Blue link in the description. You disagree with my J views? It's all good. I think the Yang's lack of familiarity with the black community makes it a challenge for him. He may be afraid to offend. You can't be afraid to offend. You can't be afraid to offend. Listen, if I'm talking to somebody from a different world, then you saying this is my ignorance on a topic is going to make me respect you, because it's okay, you're not going to sit here and pander to me because you don't know me. You're going to be look, I don't know. Educate me. There's nothing stopping somebody from walking into a room and saying, when they ask, what's your black agenda? You say, I've been thinking about that a lot. And there's a lot of things that me and my team have put together, but I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear what you want as a black agenda. What's important to you? There's no shame in not knowing. I'm not saying that he doesn't know, but I'm just saying, take the opportunity to reverse the question. Let them put it out there. Let them tell you what they're looking for. I want to help the hood as long as they don't have to go to it. Robert Lay with the $8 super chat. Yo, appreciate you. I don't think Andrew Yang walked out of that interview yesterday and felt like he did a good job. So I don't need to set him straight. I think he knows that he did not do well. I think he may have thought he did okay in the Breakfast Club interview. I thought that was also disappointing. All I'm saying is, if you're not going to have a strong interview, don't go. Just be you know what? I need a break. I'm taking some time off. I'm not going to do that. Or I'm just not going to put myself in those situations. If you're going to ask me about a black agenda, I'm not going to do the interview. Or just tell them, look, I'm not going to answer questions on the black agenda or whatever. Just, I don't know what you got to do. But I know you have more control in these interviews than you're acting you're portraying as though you don't have enough control to create a situation that you're comfortable with. Make that happen. Get me 50K. Oh man, I don't need to get to 50K. I think if I get to 12K, I could probably win. Oh man, y'all funny. Yeah. He doesn't have the knowledge, experience, familiar with blacks that we have. I'll help him in the hood. I'm gonna be more man. Yo, stay safe out there, man. I just, I think he knows. Okay, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I think he's incredibly intelligent. I think he's incredibly well read. I think he's researched, and I just think he's trying to communicate the way politicians communicate. And that's not what got him here. That's not what's going to resonate with the community he's trying to reach. He needs to be honest. When he talks about Golden Boy, yo, appreciate you. When he gets into, like, I made the video the other day on why Andrew Yang doesn't support free college, which is coming back, by the way. I'm still editing it. And ultimately, throughout that video, we get to the point where we realize that college is being overprescribed, as Yang has said several times. Again, 44% of college graduates are underemployed. That we need to have a strong vocational program. Bernie Sanders constantly I need some water. Bernie Sanders is always going on about the German free college, but Bernie Sanders doesn't talk about the vocational training program that they also have that runs in congruency with that actual free college system. So he kind of misses the mark. So Yang has the opportunity to come in and say, look, man, I'm going to make vocational training more available. Why is that significant? Well, because when it comes to automation, the jobs that are going to stick around a little bit longer are going to be the jobs that require a little bit more of the human mind, or hands or fingers and thumbs. And that's an opportunity for African Americans to take advantage of that while everyone else is still getting overprescribed college. Like, there are different solutions for different people. And that's what we're trying to make happen. So I want to hear intelligent responses from Andrew Yang. I want to hear the real answers, because you know how you're doing a research paper? I'm about to give you a horrible analogy. But like, he knows, he's already thought about everything that he's doing, right? He's thought about why automation is important and why AI is relevant to the economy and people. He has like a grand vision, and he has an ending point. Like, in his perfect society after 4 years, what it would look like. Give us more of that. Give us more of why things are the way they are, what the true opportunities are, where you see we can benefit from. And in the moment, if you're speaking to a specific community, there's nothing wrong with saying this is an opportunity for your community. You're not pandering. You're just being honest. Like, you're looking at the data and you're saying, hey, maybe you guys don't know this yet, but here's what I know, because I've been doing the research for the last however many years. Roland Martin with softball. Absolutely. Listen, this was a tough interview. I mean, you guys say it lightened up, so I'm glad. Hindsight's 2020. You won't know this interview. Until after it's done. So unless you've got a DNC DeLorean. Hey, I made a video a month and a half ago, and I told him to stop putting himself in this situation. So if he checked out the channel, if Yang would just Yang scribe, then he would have already known that this was coming. It was gonna happen, man. It was absolutely gonna happen one day. Somebody was gonna call him out. I wasn't expecting it to be her, and again, I'm glad it was her, because if it happened somewhere else, it might not have been so pretty. You know what I mean? But this video's got 10,000 views. Fortunately, this video could have 100,000. It could have 1 million.
So there has to be an agenda.
He's currently not the smart Yang we fell for. Almost like he's bored. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Something's going on over there. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just got some new advisors and they're trying to make him seem more legit, or I don't know. Just something weird is happening in this moment with Andrew Yang. Like, the policies are already laid out. I don't know. I don't know. Wesley, when I met Yang in person, his comment that his tummy is becoming as big as mine. He needs more swag. We seen the man coming out to Return of the Mac. How can he not have swag? Like, I just don't like. It's weird. You know what I mean? Okay, so like, I make content online, right? But I also shoot videos. You know, I'm out here, and you know, sometimes you change who you are. Not change who you are, but like, if you're not cognizant of it, you can kind of not have energy. Like, I can come out here and do a live stream and have no energy. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm just not thinking about it, it's just easy to do. And I don't know. He need to have a coach before he goes out. Like, yo, this is the moment, and get him hyped up. I mean, listen to some Meek Mill. I don't know what he needs to do, but he got to do it before he goes into these rooms, because you can't be out here looking shook, because he be looking terrified sometimes. Nerds for Yang might win. Oh, well, it's a panel interview. It's not just one person. It's going to be, I think, 3 of us, or 3 people. I'm not doing bad, though. Shout out to y'all, the people who have donated. I'm actually doing pretty well. I think I'm in like 4th place or something, or 4th or 5th place. So I'm not doing terrible. Like, I'm like, whoa, you guys are dope, man. I appreciate you guys. You work 3 jobs and raising 3 children, man. Yo, salute to you, man. Like, he is turning into a politician. He was not a politician before. Like I said, when you go back to the Joe Rogan interview, he sounded like an academic, but then you realize that he's not just somebody who's talking from research. He's a guy who actually did it. He actually did the work, and he arrived at conclusions based on the work. So that kind of shook you. So he's not just a guy sitting in a classroom. So that made him sound way more authentic. Like, he just had that appeal. Now when you hear him talk, I literally hear his stump speech 30 times a day, because it's just like, bro, talk to people. Like, just talk. Like, you're too smart to say something stupid. Like, he's not going to do that. Like, I'm not worried that he's going to get up there and put his foot in his mouth. Take a water break. Hydrate yourself. Appreciate you. Oh, you notice I'm struggling too, bro. Give me 1 second. I might get some water for real. You're right, man. I appreciate you. All right. What'd you say? You notice he gained weight? Did he gain weight? Edwin says, y'all some haters for real. What happened? My audio's bad? Is my audio bad? Let me know. Yo, appreciate you guys, man. You guys are all awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what the switch up is. You know, like I said, I don't pretend to know. I don't have any insight. I never talked to Andrew or Zach or anybody in the campaign. You know, this opportunity to do the panel interview would be great. But like I said, I'm not going to, if I'm up there, I'm going to ask him questions, like real questions. I'm not going to ask him no softballs. I've been listening to the man talk it's only been for me like 3.5 months, but I've watched so much Yang content that I've had to reduce everything down to what he hasn't spoken on. So my questions would not be easy, and they might not make him look good. So perhaps I'm not the guy who you want asking Andrew Yang questions, because it might not be pretty. He's still my guy. I still support him, but if he can't handle Karen Hunter, who doesn't know that much about his policies, then he definitely don't want me asking him questions, because I know all of them. I think that way because of the marketing. That's what I think. I think it's got to be the marketing company because, I mean, what else would have changed? Like nothing else has changed. Like he's polling, I mean, better. You're not just a channel anymore. This is a movement. Yeah. Don't ask him easy questions. Listen, I want him to win. Like I said, I'm glad that she asked him some tough ones, man. I think that was good. But like I said, he had an opportunity to correct her. I wish he had done that. I mean, I think it would have shocked her. Like, if you show somebody you're more knowledgeable about them than they are, they're going to respect you because they're going to be like, whoa, you actually took the time to look into something that's a talking point for me or something like that. And you're more knowledgeable than me. Okay, hold on. Let me think about that for a second. All right, now I don't even have anything to say because you caught me off guard. You know what I mean? She thought she was taking him off guard. Now imagine if he hit her back and said, no, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's actually incorrect. Go back to watching Trump. Go back and watch those Trump performances. I'm telling you, he was cutting people off left and right. Cut everybody off. You were talking and you said something he didn't like, cut you off. I should share his drinks with you. He needs flavor as hype man. Listen, I have no doubt that Yang is a very swaggy individual. I seen him get up there. He comes out to return to Mac. He got his hat half to the side. Like, he don't even wear his hat straight on no more. You notice when he be in his rallies, he wears his hat like this. This is how Yang is in the rallies, okay? He walk around like this. He throwing his hands up. He like, what's up? This is what he does. So he needs to keep that same energy when he walk into the room with the radio host. That's all I'm saying. He doesn't strike me as somebody who's, I don't know. He just needs to treat everything the same. Like, treat every interview the same. Like, I know it's a different environment. I get that. But just bring the same sauce every time. Because that's what people like. Like, don't be a different guy on the internet than you are when you get in the room. Because that's when people are like, are you being fake? Or is that who you really are? Or I don't know. Like, I don't want to be trying to read you. I want to just focus on why you're here. Is it entitlement to ask what is going to do for me? No, because he's asking for their vote. I already said that. If he doesn't want the vote, then don't ask. I'm not asking Andrew Yang to ask for the black vote. But if you're going to go onto a platform that you know the goal is to get that specific audience and you're trying to get them to vote for you, you're coming to them asking for something. So what did you think they were going to do? Of course they're going to ask you for what you're going to do for them. Same thing as when he goes to the Asian Pacific Islander conference, or when he goes to go see some union workers, or when he goes to see a group of truckers. Like, they're going to ask, what are you doing for truckers? What are you doing for whoever? That's how it works. That's what politics is. I mean, you're not going to give everything to everybody, but the goal is you build enough coalitions with the right people that you get enough support to win. And that's not wrong. Like, that's the way politics has always worked. I mean, you're just trying to get the majority. It's not about getting 100%. America's more than black people. Does his policies help me? You're not asking me that question. He needs Tariq Nasheed. No, he doesn't. Eric Weinstein was, oh yeah, that was a good one. See, he's very comfortable in that environment, and that's fine. But I want you to understand the way he treats that environment versus he treats the Breakfast Club interview, and just don't do that. That's what Trump is good at. Trump doesn't sound like he's talking different to different people. He sounds like, I'm the same dude all the time. They trying to make him into Bernie. I think that's a great opportunity for him to differentiate himself and say, look, I feel in his mind to say, if he feels like Bernie is winning over this particular group, then he needs to spend that interview trying to differentiate himself. Like, look, Bernie wants to give all this control to the government, but historically, the government hasn't been that great to black people. So perhaps that might not be the way to go. I want to empower you myself. That's why I'm giving you the freedom dividend, is because it's empower your own community. Like, you go start your own businesses. You go get your own situations together, because I don't feel like the government can do enough. Now, if you need us to step in on your behalf, we got you. But, for right now, that's the focus. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm answering questions like in a genius way. I just think that when you're being honest, you're going to talk differently than when you're trying to toe the line and you're afraid to say what you really feel. Just say what you feel, man. Do a part 2. I saw Mr. Yang hug a person with a question about infants who accidentally shot themselves. He is a legend. He made Karen an advisor. Hey, that might help, man. I mean, you don't need no yes man. You need somebody to tell you the truth. Yang understands in order to win this game, he has to play the game as much as he would like to be himself there. As long as the Yang gang knows this and continues supporting him, he will. I don't have no political weight. You don't want me up there. I'm just saying. Get rid of Blast Fix. Oh, man. Fortunice. I feel like time is the most valuable asset you have, and I'm honored that you're spending your time right here in this channel, in this chat room. How can he help black people? I mean, human-centered capitalism does help black people because he's changing the value of people from money. Look, black people came into this country as property. Then we became labor. Under human-centered capitalism, black people become people. Black people become equal. So I don't know how more easily or how much more articulate to be than to say that for the first time you'll be a person in this country and you as a person will matter outside of just what your financial contribution is to the bottom line. That helps black people. He looks mad as hell, hardly smile, just crush it with the zing. If your son, like I was confused, she should have asked like if he, okay, see that was another bad question, right? It was a good question because she asked, what is he, she asked Andrew, what do you say as a black father to your kid, right? He started to answer. I felt like his answer was solid. And that's what the same answer I would have gave. Like, I'm a black father. Like, there's nothing to say. You're in a horrible situation. And your goal is to get home no matter what. Like, I mean, I got pulled over the other day. Even after we had this conversation, I got pulled over the other day. And it's just, I didn't have my wallet on me. It was like 2 a.m. And I ran out to go get some milk or something for my kid. I didn't have my wallet on me. I get out and I'm like, because I took my debit card, but not my wallet. And when I get pulled over, I put my hands on the thing. I'm looking. I'm like, hey, I'm not moving around in here. Like, you're trying to look as non-threatening as possible. That's the answer. It's not anything more complex than that. I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but whatever it is. So he answers the question, and she's like, well, first, let me correct you. First, you're going to say, I'm sorry we live in a country where it has to be like that. And then she throws on this part like, as president, I'm going to do whatever I can to fix it. Well, first of all, you asked him as a black father, not as president. So you kind of changed the question as you were answering it. So that wasn't right. But, I mean, there's no other, that's the answer. I mean, I don't know what you to say. Fight the cop? Turn on your phone, turn the camera on, and look as non-threatening as possible. And pray he's having a good day. Kaheem, I like your channel. I appreciate you, man. You're Oklahoma. What? I'm in Oklahoma too, bro. Oklahoma is crazy right now, man. Like, there's so much stuff that you guys don't hear about out of Oklahoma. It's nuts. Like, it's kind of crazy. He needs this kind of message reaching out to the black community. like, I just don't want this to come off as negative in any way. Not that I'm saying things that are negative. I just don't want somebody to hear this and think that I think that he's doing a bad job. I said, no, I want you to do a great job because, you know, the better the job you do, the more we all benefit because you're going to get those votes so you can get some donations. We can stop working so hard. Federal jobs guarantee versus freedom dividend. It's non-question. Yo, appreciate you, Lee. You're changing it. I'm trying, man. UBI would allow communities to address their own issues, but how do you explain to people that rely on, say, the government to fix their issues because it's much easier? Okay, so this is the conversation that he is going to eventually have to get into, which is why he needs to start taking these interviews very seriously, because he's going to have to realize that he's putting himself in a position where he's looking like Bernie Sanders. But he's not Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders wants to give complete control of everything to the government. But what Andrew Yang needs to start pointing out is I would like to do that, except for historically the government hasn't treated black people that well. I mean, the government is the ones who supported all of the who supported. The government supported slavery. The government supported segregation. The government supported redlining. The government supported all the policies that help companies get rich. The government supported, and it looked good as far as the bottom line. So giving the government control over your life might not be the best thing for black people. So I can't necessarily go that far, but what I can do is say, I'm going to give you guys the resources that you need to fix your communities yourself. And if needed, that's when the government steps in, but not turn it over to the government and good luck. Like, is a federal jobs guarantee going to be the best thing for the black community? I don't know about that. It seems a little nervous, right? Or it seems a little, I don't know. I feel like that one, I feel like it's easy to pick apart. Tornado Alley? Oh, yeah. What's my name? My name is Aaron. As a black, get legal shit. What? That's what I was asking her. What should the correct answer be for non-black to say? Oh, yeah. It's speculated that Bernie, an NIMBY, because he endorses one and has some of them working in his campaign. These are the people causing housing crisis in California. That's why I can't trust Bernie. Look, man, that's why I say you got to call out the government too. And that's why Yang has to call out the government. Trump called out everybody. He called out the mainstream media. You never heard a politician talk about the mainstream media as the enemy of the people. Ever. We spoke on Sunday. Oh, that was you, Daniel. Oh, okay, yeah. Ah, what's up, man? That's right, I met Daniel. Yeah, good guy. Mr. Free Everything with big government. Yeah, man, I don't trust government like that. I mean, maybe some of you guys do, I understand, but it's just, makes me nervous. Bernie would lose to Trump. Everyone knows it. Yeah. And Yang is perfectly in his right to say that, listen, while I support the spirit of what Bernie Sanders is saying, I can't go that far. America is a capitalist country. I just heard Trump say last night, actually. I guess he gave a speech yesterday. You know, as long as he's president, we're going to be a capitalist country. And Yang can differentiate himself by pointing out, like, listen, I like a lot of Bernie's ideas, but, you know, I don't think he understands that this is America. And capitalism is what we're founded on, and that's what we're going to be. We don't want to be socialist. Sorry. I'm the sober wing of the. Yeah, man. No, I'm definitely not a fanatic, man. That's why I say y'all don't want me interviewing Yang. Not right now. He needs to get back in my good graces right now. Like, bro, I'm looking out for you. Be careful. He needs to call on the wealth. Yeah, I mean, Yang called out the wealth tax, you know, on Twitter, but he hasn't really had an opportunity to sit down. I mean, his language isn't strong enough, I think, to really be considered calling out. I mean, he definitely has said something about it, but he just doesn't say it strongly enough for people to be like, oh, he's kind of attacking, Elizabeth Warren. Hello, dear. I'm on live stream. You ready to go?
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I brought you a Coke.
Thanks. It's half a drink.
Well, I thought you'd help me drink it, so I didn't drink the whole thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Appreciate it, babe.
I'm sharing the calories.
Are you ready to go, bro?
Let me let Cash pee, obviously.
Okay.
Go party.
She's gonna let my dog out. Black people should support an Asian guy because they worked side by side when building the railroads back in the days. We built America together. Ooh. Pander on pander. What's up? You want to say hi to the people? You want to say hi to the world?
Hi, world. No, I wanted to say message.
What's up? No. They said hi. How about a community of $10,000 will receive $10 million a month? If you can't fix community, man. You drink Coke, you're a real one. I don't drink soda. He'll never call out bad. Let's listen. Yes. So I got to summarize this. So I got to get out of here. But this stream has definitely got a little messy. Like I said, I don't want to. I might just take little parts of this and put out. But like I said, I'm not. I want Andrew Yang to sound strong when he gets in these rooms. And he has everything he needs to do that. I don't know why he's nervous. I don't know what his advisors are telling him. He needs to get back to being who he is. He needs to get back to being the guy who got all this attention. You know, one of the things that really came out of those conversations in Tulsa was everybody said that they just kept hearing the name Andrew Yang. They just kept seeing him overwhelmingly to the point where they're like, okay, fine, I will check him out. And they did. And they were impressed with what they heard. It takes people time. Okay? So just be you, man. Like, just be. This stream is brought to you. I know I should be showing that off. Just be you. You is what got you here. Sounding not like a politician is what got you here. Sounding strong, sounding knowledgeable, sounding informed, that's always going to work. You don't have to worry about being the coolest guy in the room or looking like you have black friends. We don't care if you don't have no black friends. All I care about is that you created policies to help out America. And if in certain situations those policies are going to help out a specific community, great. But don't get up here and lie to these people and tell them you have a black agenda and start talking about HBCUs because it sounds pathetic. And you're better than that. You are. You're better than that. So I'm going to get out of here, man. Mr. Jervison. I'm going to get out of here, man. You guys have an excellent day. Like I said, this is a positive thing. I think he's still my candidate of choice, but just want him to tighten it up a little bit so that when he gets in these rooms and he has these interviews, they come off a lot stronger, that he has something that I can put out there and be like, look, man, another phenomenal performance for Andrew Yang. He's got this thing in the bag. So you guys have a great day. Appreciate you guys for coming out to the stream. See you guys in the next video. Once I find the end stream button. If I can find it. I can't find it. Where is it? Jeez. It's not very smooth, was it? All right. I guess I'm just going to be here lurking like a real weirdo. Peace out.